If you like digging deep in your role-playing games, I got one for you from the Golden Age. I'll try and do it justice. Stick around. Hi folks, Old Man Grognard here, and I'm bringing you today a reprint of the second thing I believe that TSR published as far as role-playing games go, and it is called The Empire of the Petal Throne. Now, you may have heard of this game before. I know I have. I'm an old Grognard. I've heard about it from way back. This is a reprint by the Tekumel Foundation, because that's the name of the campaign world, Tekumel. And what it was M.A.R. Barker came up with this land, this world of Tekumel. And he showed Gary, and Gary liked it and decided to put it out in a box set. And it sold for a while, and then it went away. Everybody who is anybody back then knew of that game and thought it was special. It is special. I think it's a special game. I think it's an interesting world and a deep world. That's the thing, it's a deep world. What I mean is, in this book here, the physical book, and this is a reprint by the Tekumel Foundation. This book here, it gives you a world that is very unlike your usual swords and wizardry type worlds. It's more of a, I don't want to say Tolkien-esque, but it has its feel. And what they did was basically rejigger the D&D system, which had only been out for a little while. This is 75. And for this, and they made it for this world. And it's an interesting read. But like I said, it's not a light read, but it's an interesting read. M.A.R. Barker is, the reason I compare it to Tolkien is because while it doesn't have that Middle-earth feel, it has a feel of a unique, and I mean unique, world that characters can inhabit. It is very, I found it very, at the time it's like, I kind of brushed it off, it's like, too Indian. Because it's kind of a Indian slash Egyptian feel to it. And it's got unique monsters, it's got unique characters in there. A lot of the names, and he was a linguist, just like Tolkien. This is why it feels kind of Tolkien-esque. It feels like somebody trying to invent a world. A really vibrant, lively world with its own language, its own customs, its own, this, that, and the other thing. But it is playable. Now, people have redone this a couple of times. I think there was a GURPS Tekumel at one time. I know Guardians of Order put out Adventures in Tekumel, and there was a couple other companies that I can't remember right now. I'm sure people will remind me later. But this is the original. This is the original right here. It's not the box set, but this is the main book from the box set. I'll show you how to get this stuff later down there, but the Tekumel Foundation sells this through Director RPG and such, and you can get the rest of the box sets components like the maps and things like that. But this is enough to get you going right here. It's 120 pages. They just published it in 2017. M.A.R. Barker wrote it, and the art is by M.A.R. Barker, Karen J. Engelson, and David Sutherland. And it is pretty good. It is damn good black and white art. It has 6 stats like D. There are some familiar things, some unfamiliar things. First of all, the stats, they're percentile stats, 1 to 100. Okay. It's like they took D&D and kind of restructured it a bit and added a few tweaks, which people were doing with house rules anyway. But the point is, they were trying to reflect the feel of this world. You have 6 stats: strength, intelligence, con, dex, comeliness, and psychic ability, which replaces wisdom. That is what you use for casting spells and such, because they almost akin spells to psychic ability, to psionic abilities, which they aren't. I mean, they have their regular spells in there, but it's more of a mind thing, a manipulating magic with your mind thing. Let's take a look. Okay, here's the introduction. It gives you like a 3 or 4 or 5 page backstory. This is where I said it was deep, because it is deep, because it's very, very detailed on the back history of this whole world and planet. The names, I'll mention the names later, but it gives you a very detailed backstory. And with a lot of plot hooks, you can use this history if you want to play a different part of the world's history. You can do that. I'm sure people can come up with all sorts of things for that. Here are some of the Yeah, these are the 6 stats. Tells you basically, from 1 to 100 how good you are and things like that. There are 3 classes in this game: warrior, cleric, and magic user. Priest and magic user. There are no thieves. There are no demi-humans in the traditional sense. It's more of their native fauna, I should say, intelligent races. I think there's like a race that look like kind of like praying mantises, things like that you can play, but I'm not too sure about that. I tried to delve as deep into this book I could, and I'm not that kind of guy, but I did it anyway. So here's what they call skills. They put great emphasis on skills in this game, because skills are not only skills, but they're also the magic. And let me explain a bit about the way they work magic in here. And as you do a character, when you do a character, you get to roll for skills, and you get to roll for a skill when you go up in level too, if you're a magic user or a priest. I mean, fighters are rolling on their skills at arms and things like that, and they also have general skills. But they do lump the spells in, like, basic spells into skills for the magic user or the priest, like Cure Light Wounds and Haste and things like that. But you get to roll them, and that's the spell you get. Spell or spells. You may get more than one, who knows. But every time you roll up you go up a level, you get to roll again for more spells. And they also have a chart called advanced spells in here that you can roll on after you hit, when you get up in levels. You can roll on that too, which gives you more advanced stuff. So that's a unique thing. Combat is pretty straightforward. D20 versus armor class, the usual thing. And let's take a look a little more of the book. It's all this 2-column thing here. This is the monster section. They have AC, they have hit dice, things like. I think all the hit dice are D6 in this game. I believe so. Yes. And it's got some interesting monsters in there. Here's some of the artwork. These are the creatures I was talking about. You can play these. This is a playable race right here, if that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah. Some beautiful stuff in here too. Some beautiful black and white artwork. And here's more like, this is the magic item section. You can roll for magic items. It's got some nice stuff. They have these things called eyes, and what they are is like a little jewel that looks like an eye that you can cast spells through. That will have, there's different, the eye of this, the eye of that. So it's basically a magic item that you find in dungeons. They said once in a great while you can buy them from like priestly orders or things like that, of a certain god or something like that, or they'll give you it for a mission or whatever. But that's kind of the thing. To me, that seems the kind of thing of, if you're playing a low-level priest and you don't have very many spells to begin with, they'll give you an eye or something like that, which is a nice little thing. I've always played around with stuff like that, like magic stones and things like that. I like that kind of stuff. Adventuring in this world, I've never adventured in this world, but from what I've heard from everybody who's done it, they say it's fantastic. I don't know if they've done it with this version, a lot of them, because there are like 2 or 3 companies that try to turn out more Tekumel, the Tekumel game in a different format. But from what I understand, it's very evocative. It's got its own unique feel, kind of like Tanslantia and Jorn and things like that. They have their its own unique feel, and they did this first. And I understand the color maps are absolutely beautiful. I've never seen them, but the book does include a few black and white maps to get you going. Here's the main world right here. And that'll pretty much get you going. They don't give you any adventures, unfortunately, but you probably get a few on drive-through through them, because the Tekumel Foundation is on drive-through RPG and RPG Now. The one thing I wanted to say is the names. I have a prejudice against names that you can't pronounce. And what I mean by that is I have a prejudice against names you can't pronounce. And once in a while, okay, I can learn to pronounce something. But this book is full of them, full of names that are hard to pronounce. Even in the back, they talk about the language and a pronunciation guide for this. So I think it's worth it. I think it's worth at least one dive into, trying it, because it sounds tantalizing. It really sounds tantalizing. I don't know if I could run it, but I'd love to play in it, because if you're that kind of GM, you're going to eat this up. You really are, because it's really like I said, he's very much Tolkien-esque in he went through the research, he created a language, he created this culture, and it seems like a labor of love. And if people enjoy it, then I think it's justified. Okay, where to find it? Fine. Drive through an RPG Now, pretty much. The PDF is $14.95, and I'm giving you regular prices. This may be on sale sometime, but I got to give you the regular prices. $14.95 for PDF. Softcover is $19.95. Hardcover is $24.95. You can get a bundle of the softcover and the PDF for $33.95, or the hardcover and the PDF for $38.95. We'll put links down there, of course. So that's my review of Empire of the Petal Throne by the Tekumel Foundation. And I believe they're at tekumel.com. So go out and look at this book. It's a really great piece of gaming history and a great read at the same time. If you're like a history buff, if you like alternate histories and things like that, try it. It'll be worth your while. I mean, you can always, $15 for a PDF is not reasonable. My limit on a PDF is 20, so that falls under my guidelines. So go get it and tell me about it or anything else at oldmangrognard@gmail.com. Don't forget to hit the like button, and I guess I will see you later. So bye-bye.